에 관해 곰곰이 생각하다.
reflect on, reflect on, reflect on,
포용성,
inclusivity, inclusivity, inclusivity,
궁극적으로,
ultimately, ultimately, ultimately,
협력,
collaboration, collaboration, collaboration,
패러다임,
paradigm, paradigm, paradigm,
보통, 일반적으로,
typically, typically, typically,
지배하다,
rule, rule, rule,
배타성,
exclusivity, exclusivity, exclusivity,
상급의,
senior, senior, senior,
부적절한,
inadequate, inadequate, inadequate. While reflecting on the needs of organizations, leaders, and families today, we realize that one of the unique characteristics is inclusivity. Why? Because inclusivity supports what everyone ultimately wants from their relationships: collaboration. Yet the majority of leaders, organizations, and families are still using the language of the old paradigm in which one person, typically the oldest, most educated, and/or wealthiest, makes all the decisions, and their decisions rule with little discussion or inclusion of others, resulting in exclusivity. Today, this person could be a director, CEO, or other senior leader of an organization. There is no need for others to present their ideas because they are considered inadequate. Yet research shows that exclusivity in problem solving, even with a genius, is not as effective as inclusivity, which everyone's ideas are heard and a solution is developed through collaboration.
객관적인,
Objective, objective, objective,
관점,
point of view, point of view, point of view,
설명하다,
illustrate, illustrate, illustrate,
철학,
philosophy, philosophy, philosophy,
멀리서, 거리를 두고,
at a distance, at a distance, at a distance,
이용하다,
employ, employ, employ,
대상,
subject, subject, subject,
있는 그대로, 솔직하게,
straightforwardly, straightforwardly, straightforwardly,
위치 선정,
positioning, positioning, positioning,
에 관해 논평하다,
comment on, comment on, comment on,
해석하다,
interpret, interpret, interpret,
전개되다,
unfold, unfold, unfold,
냉담한,
impersonal, impersonal, impersonal,
눈에 띄지 않게,
unnoticeably, unnoticeably, unnoticeably. The objective point of view is illustrated by John Ford's philosophy of camera. Ford considered the camera to be a window and the audience to be outside the window viewing the people and events within. We are asked to watch the actions as if they were taking place at a distance. And we are not asked to participate. The objective point of view employs a static camera as much as possible in order to avoid this window effect, and it concentrates on the actors and the action without drawing attention to the camera. The objective camera suggests an emotional distance between camera and subject. The camera seems simply to be recording, as straightforwardly as possible, the characters and actions of the story. For the most part, the director uses natural, normal types of camera positioning and camera angles. The objective camera does not comment on or interpret the action but merely records it, letting it unfold. We see the action from the viewpoint of an impersonal observer. If the camera moves, it does so unnoticeably, calling as little attention to itself as possible.
훌륭한, 존경할 만한,
Respectable, respectable, respectable.
단체, 기관, 협회,
Institution, institution, institution.
로 거슬러 올라가다,
Trace back to, trace back to, trace back to.
원시적인,
Primitive, primitive, primitive.
가죽,
Hide, hide, hide.
내장,
Gut, gut, gut.
공격, 공격성,
Aggression, aggression, aggression.
경외심을 자아내는,
AWE inspiring, AWE inspiring, AWE inspiring.
당당함, 자기 주장,
Assertiveness, assertiveness, assertiveness.
주요한, 인류의,
Leading, leading, leading.
을 떠올리다,
Summon up, summon up, summon up.
무리,
Band, band, band.
지배, 우월함,
Dominance, dominance, dominance.
공격적인, 포식동물 같은,
Predatory, predatory, predatory. Even the most respectable of all musical institutions, the symphony orchestra, carries inside its DNA the legacy of the blank. The various instruments in the orchestra can be traced back to these primitive origins. Their earliest forms were made either from the animal, horn, hide, gut, bone, or the weapons employed in bringing the animal under control, stick, bow. Are we wrong to hear this history in the music itself? In the formidable aggression and awe-inspiring assertiveness of those monumental symphonies that remain the core repertoire of the world's leading orchestras? Listening to Beethoven, Brahms, Mahler, Bruckner, Berlioz, Tchaikovsky, Shostakovich, and other great composers, I can easily summon up images of bands of men starting to chase animals, using sound as a source and symbol of dominance, an expression of the will to predatory power.
진화하다.
Evolve, evolve, evolve.
인식하다.
Perceive, perceive, perceive.
특이함, 특이성.
Unusualness, unusualness, unusualness.
정보를 암호화하여 입력하다.
Encode, encode, encode.
신경학자.
Neurologist, neurologist, neurologist.
자극.
Stimulation, stimulation, stimulation.
노출하다.
Expose, expose, expose.
실현, 직접 보여줌.
Demonstration, demonstration, demonstration.
열의, 열성.
Enthusiasm, enthusiasm, enthusiasm.
작업 기억.
Working memory, working memory, working memory.
을 전담하는.
Devoted to, devoted to, devoted to.
지각에.
Perceptual, perceptual, perceptual.
충족하다.
Feed, feed, feed.
탐구적인.
Exploratory, exploratory, exploratory. Our brains have evolved to remember unexpected events because basic survival depends on the ability to perceive causes and predict effects. If the brain predicts one event and experiences another, the unusualness will be especially interesting and will be encoded accordingly. Neurologist and classroom teacher Judith Willis has claimed that surprise in the classroom is one of the most effective ways of teaching with brain stimulation in mind. If students are exposed to new experiences via demonstrations or through the unexpected enthusiasm of their teachers or peers, they will be much more likely to connect with the information that follows. Willis has written that encouraging active discovery in the classroom allows students to interact with new information, moving it beyond working memory to be processed in the frontal lobe, which is devoted to advanced cognitive functioning. Blank sets us up for learning by directing attention, providing stimulation to developing perceptual systems, and feeding curious and exploratory behavior.
소믈리에, 와인 감별사.
Sommelier, sommelier, sommelier.
기억하다, 보유하다.
retain, retain, retain.
만찬, 축제 행사.
Festivities, festivities, festivities. Psychological research has shown that people naturally blank, often without thinking about it. Imagine you're cooking up a special dinner with a friend. You're a great cook, but your friend is the wine expert, an amateur sommelier. A neighbor drops by and starts telling you both about the terrific new wines being sold at the liquor store just down the street. There are many new wines, so there's a lot to remember. How hard are you going to try to remember what the neighbor has to say about which wines to buy? Why bother when the information would be better retained by the wine expert sitting next to you? If your friend wasn't around, you might try harder. After all, it would be good to know what a good wine would be for the evening's festivities. But your friend, the wine expert, is likely to remember the information without even trying.
수익, 이익.
Profit, profit, profit.
재고하다, 다시 생각하다.
Reconsider, reconsider, reconsider.
동기, 이유.
Motive, motive, motive.
농작물, 생산물, 생산하다, 새끼를 낳다.
Produce, produce, produce.
제조하다.
Manufacture, manufacture, manufacture.
고객 우대 카드.
Loyalty card, loyalty card, loyalty card.
추적하다.
Track, track, track.
분석학.
Analytics, analytics, analytics.
기계 학습.
Machine learning, machine learning, machine learning.
쪼개다, 자르다.
Slice, slice, slice.
통화, 화폐.
Currency, currency, currency.
자본주의 체제.
Capitalist system, capitalist system, capitalist system.
최대화하다.
Maximize, maximize, maximize. Even companies that sell physical products to make profit are forced by their boards and investors to reconsider their underlying motives and to collect as much data as possible from consumers. Supermarkets no longer make all their money selling their produce and manufactured goods. They give you loyalty cards with which they track your purchasing behaviors precisely. Then supermarkets sell this purchasing behavior to marketing analytics companies. The marketing analytics companies perform machine learning procedures, slicing the data in new ways. and resell behavioral data back to product manufacturers as marketing insights. When data and machine learning become currencies of value in a capitalist system, then every company's natural tendency is to maximize its ability to conduct surveillance on its own customers because blank.
대학 교수,
Academics. Academics. Academics.
윤리적으로,
Ethically. Ethically. Ethically.
조종하다, 조작하다,
Manipulate. Manipulate. Manipulate.
한 것을 인정하다,
Admit to. Admit to. Admit to.
경쟁자,
Competitor. Competitor. Competitor.
또래 친구,
Peer. Peer. Peer.
부정적인, 바람직하지 못한,
Unfavorable. Unfavorable. Unfavorable.
그로 인해,
Thereby. Thereby. Thereby.
감정 등을 이용하다,
Play on. Play on. Play on.
취약성,
Vulnerability. Vulnerability. Vulnerability.
부적절함, 불충분함,
Inadequateness. Inadequateness. Inadequateness.
에 기여하다, 의 원인이 되다,
Contribute to. Contribute to. Contribute to. Academics, politicians, marketers and others have in the past debated whether or not it is ethically correct to market products and services directly to young consumers. This is also a dilemma for psychologists who have questioned whether they ought to help advertisers manipulate children into purchasing more products they have seen advertised. Advertisers have admitted to taking advantage of the fact that it is easy to make children feel that they are losers if they do not own the right products. When products become more popular, more competitors enter the marketplace and marketers lower their marketing costs to remain competitive. Clever advertising informs children that they will be viewed by their peers in an unfavorable way if they do not have the products that are advertised, thereby playing on their emotional vulnerabilities. The constant feelings of inadequateness created by advertising have been suggested to contribute to children becoming fixated with instant gratification and beliefs that material possessions are important.